Hey, it's Daryl again. I thought I'd do a car review today because I haven't done a car review for ages. Today I'm doing a drive in an ENV van. So this is the electric Nissan NV200 van. So if you're familiar with the diesel NV200 van, exactly the same but electric. They've been making these for a few years now. I think this one's a 2016. I'm not actually sure. I can check the details, but I'll let you know later. Has a driving range of about 100 kilometers, kind of, I presume, for highway speeds in eco mode. I presume if I turn on the heater and drive fast, like motorway speeds, so then the range will be a bit lower. But I'm driving it over Rimataka Hill today, so if you're familiar with New Zealand, this is the biggest hill that's closest to Wellington, the capital of New Zealand, and you have to go that way to go State Highway 2, goes up to Napier and Hastings. We've got a lot of fast chargers, so this should be sweet. So I'm going to go and show some people the car at one of the fast chargers. So I'll just give you a view from the outside so you can see what I'm talking about. So here we are. It's just a little van, just a normal van. This is the cargo variant, so it has no seats in the back. It's got a sliding door on both sides and a front normal door. Charging port is at the front, CHAdeMO and Type 1. And that's what it looks like in the back. Just a little cargo van, I don't know, about 1.5 meters, 1.8 meters maybe of floor length. Probably about 1200, 1300 wide, something like that. Lift up back door. This one's got no reversing camera, it just has one of those mirrors. Yeah, pretty. This is the basic one. Got hubcap wheels, normal steel wheels. Very normal van. Lots of telecommunications workers in New Zealand drive these types of vans. Maybe a few electricians and plumbers perhaps, but it's pretty small as far as a van goes. What have we got next door? Got just a normal SUV and a Honda Jazz by comparison, so you can get an idea of the size. Okay, so I've driven 17.8 kilometers and I've used 22% of the power so far. Still saying 80 kilometers to go. It was saying a little, 79 kilometers to go. I think it was saying a little bit less before I stopped, but I guess you slow down when you stop, so that's going interestingly. I'll just look at the upper display screen. That's the battery temperature. It's got active cooling. There's the battery capacity, so the battery capacity is still pretty good, as if the vehicle's pretty new. Remember, it's done 41,000 Ks. Just rolled over 41,000 while I was driving. I was just driving at 100 kilometers per hour on the motorway mostly here. What else? Haven't regenerated much power because haven't been going downhill much, but I am going to go over the mountains soon, so that'll be interesting. And I've got the average energy up to 4.8 kilometers per kilowatt hour. So next time I'll stop at the top of the mountain so we can have a look at how that's going. It's going to be terrible at that point, I would imagine. Okay, so I made it to the top of the mountain, which is good because I'll be able to regenerate going down the other side. And the range estimate until empty is 25 kilometers, but when you go up a steep hill in an electric car, the estimate of your range will plummet. I've travelled just on 40 kilometers, 39.7 since we charged, so I've used up 65% of the battery on this trip. 65% to go 39 Ks, so this is really below 100 kilometer range vehicle, at least when driving in mountains, which is probably most of the cheaper end of electric cars, the less than sort of, I don't know, $20,000 used cars, Nissan Leafs and stuff. I'll just show the display. So 35%, 39.7 kilometers, 25 kilometers to go. Been driving in eco mode. I turned on the heater as well because my feet were getting freezing. 7 degrees outside, so pretty cold. Let's have a look at the other displays. temperature, battery capacity, kilometers since restarted, time, date, menus. What's it say? I've regenerated 0.9 kilowatt hours, so 9% of power used allegedly. I don't know how those numbers work out. What else? Oh, you're at 3.8 kilometers per kilowatt hour. Like, this is half as much as I get in my Leaf. I get 7.2 in my 30 kilowatt hour Leaf, just driving on flat roads. We're on the mountains, so of course it's a lot less. And it's a van, and I've been trying to drive as fast as the speed limit allows to get a really good example of actual usable range. So now we're going to go downhill, and I'm sure this efficiency will improve a lot. So this is the mountain that I'm just about to drive down. You can see it's a beautiful foresty valley, native forest. And you might, if you look carefully, you might be able to see the cutting. Zoom in. Yes, there's a cutting kind of mid-picture there, which is the road snaking down the hillside. Here's a view of a segment of the road. So this is a bit of a busy mountain road. See all those cuttings and everything. Big truck going by. So this is State Highway 2, which is the second main highway out of Wellington. But you can see how it's going over this mountain pass. Pretty busy all day, every day, the traffic around here, but it's really beautiful scenery. And just at the top of the hill here, you can go for a forest walk somewhere. I haven't ever been up it. I think you can go up to the peak up there, and on the other side of the road, you see where there's a guy in a van with a boat. You can take a walk up. You can sort of see there's some sort of gully that you can walk up. You can go up to the top. It's pretty mountainous up there. So it's only 7 degrees C at the moment, so what's that in Fahrenheit? 45 maybe, 40 something. 7 degrees C, what's that going to be? 12 above freezing in Fahrenheit. And there's a Met service weather station and a radio repeater for services. This is the memorial. I don't know if it's a memorial. I guess yes, it's a memorial. There we go. And over here, there's the van there. So there's quite a car park at the top. There's a couple of parks for trucks and buses as well. Because this is such a snaky, windy road, heavy vehicles are encouraged to pull over and let the other traffic pass, because it's mainly only one lane in each direction with quite a lot of passing spaces. Okay, so now I'm at the bottom of the hill, and just over here, I'll just go aside, there is ChargeNet fast charger, DC charging with ChargeMo and CCS here. So that's where I'm going to recharge. And back to the dash here. So I got 36%. I did set up at 37% before. I can't remember what it was when we were at the top of the hill, but I remember the Ks to go was 25 Ks, and now it's 47 Ks. So when you go down a steep hill, it will make the kilometers to run much higher. And on the other displays, got so we had 0.9 kilowatts of regenerated power at the top of the hill, and now 2.9, so got 2 kilowatts of regeneration. So 2 kilowatts is enough to go, what, 9.2 kilometers. So yeah, gained another 9 Ks just by going down that steep hill on the range, and got driven 50 kilometers so far today and got 47 to go. So I presume I would not have enough power to drive back over the hill and get back to where I came from, but when I demo the vehicle, I presume I'm going to charge it up to 80% so the customers can see how fast charging works, because I think that's something they wanted to know. Okay, so I got back. So I drove 103 kilometers all up, and I did a charge from 40% up to 80%. So that covered it, and got 17 kilometers left. Now I just noticed something interesting that the Leaf doesn't do that this van does. When I got to see how the 17 kilometers is flashing, and is there a light? There we go. See the orange light, the little low. There's not enough electricity light, plug back in light. Due to that, what happens is the accelerator loses its power at 100 kilometers per hour. So when I was accelerating on the motorway, once I got to exactly 100 kilometers per hour, the van wouldn't go any faster, so it limited the acceleration power. That's different than in a Leaf. In a Leaf, when your Leaf's almost flat, it just drives, I don't know, although I'm sure I must have tried driving a Leaf with the light flashing. I guess that's the kind of thing, when the battery's flat, you don't tend to drive fast, you try and save power, so kind of makes sense. Getting some text messages. Oh yeah, and average fuel economy got 4.9 kilometers per kilowatt hour. And what else have we got in here? Down to 16% battery. Battery is neither warm nor cold, although I think it is warmer than it was. Oh yeah, I was kind of recording this as a review. So it is a cool van. Acceleration is really good compared with just really ordinary diesel vans. Price is kind of right. I think this is about 30,000 New Zealand dollars. Got a solid sort of 100 kilometer range. I would imagine if we're driving on flat roads, I'd get about 110 kilometers out of it. It's got DC fast charging. So that's good. You can charge the van in, I don't know, 20 minutes or 25-30 minutes on a DC fast charger. Charge overnight at home on a normal AC outlet, about 10 to 12 hours. What have we got? 24 kilowatt hour. Yeah, something like 12 hours overnight charging. Probably about 7 or 8 kilometers for each hour you have it plugged in charging, something like that on a regular household outlet in New Zealand. If got a 16 amp 230 volt, probably pick up about 18-17 kilometers of driving for each hour you have it plugged in, and a full charge in about 5 or 6 hours. That's my guess. Yeah, pretty good. I had the heater on for about half the trip on the way there and the whole trip on the way back, because it's 10 degrees outside. It's quite cool. Got seat heaters, steering wheel heater, so all of that's pretty comfortable. Yeah, this is the real basic version, so it's just got AM FM radio. Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, so yeah, E-NV van, useful if you have short drives where you want to take a bit of cargo, carry some stuff around. You can also get a 5-seater and 7-seater configuration, so you can get it configured as a family car. Okay, catch you later. Thanks for watching.